Well, hi, folks. Welcome to the Sty Shack. This video is titled No Bush Bushcraft. And you ask yourself, well, what's he mean by that? Well, here's the scoop. I've had so many people ask me, Sty, I just love bushcrafting, just watching it, and I enjoy seeing what people can do with those natural materials and other items and all the bushcrafting they do. But I live in a city. I live in the suburbs. I live where I can't learn those bushcraft skills. I can get the knowledge. I can watch it done by others on YouTube or other medias, but I can't practice it because of where I live. And that they're always saying their opportunity to get out in the woods is rare, very rare. And what they would like to do is have those skills and be able to go out in the woods on that rare occasion and practice those skills. Not have to learn them after they get there, but to already have them. So I call that the no bush bushcraft. Can't get out in the bush? Doesn't mean you can't learn bushcraft. There's certain bushcrafting skills you can do right at home, right in your home. Knife skills you can practice right in your house. You can practice certain types of camp cooking right in your home. I've even seen people in certain circumstances practice certain fire making methods in their house, in their home. I wouldn't recommend fire starting skills inside the house, but there's folks that have done it. Now, if you're living in the city or in a suburb, if you're in a suburb, you've got it a little easier because you can go right in your backyard and you can practice fire starting, you can practice whittling and crafting items out of natural wood products, fibrous material, all kinds of things. You can practice emergency shelter construction. You can put up tent shelters. There's so many different types of tent shelters you can learn right in your own backyard. I would say the majority of the bushcrafting skills you see and you get knowledge of through different medias like YouTube can be practiced right in your own backyard. There's no reason why not. For one thing, if you do it privately, you're not going to draw a lot of attention to yourself, so your neighbors aren't going to say, oh, look at the kook in the backyard. They'll just think, yeah, they got something going on. They won't know what you're up to. You might have ordinances that say you can't have an open fire or things like that. That doesn't mean you can't practice fire starting skills in a barbecue. Easily done. You can learn how to do the different fire lays and the different fire starting methods right using a barbecue for your fire pit. Now, if you're living in the city, you got no backyard. You're living in a high-rise apartment building, not surrounded by nothing but concrete and blacktop. What can you do? Go to a city park. You can go to a city park. And there's a lot of skills And if you're creative and you think about it, there's a lot of skills you can practice right in a city park. Now, I have people say, well, that all sounds good. I should be able to practice these skills then. But I don't have the material. Again, if you have a yard, you're living in the suburbs, you have a yard, most folks have a little brush pile that they clean out from cleaning up every spring or trimming the trees in the yard. Save that material because you can use that to bushcraft with. Another way to collect material is when you're moving around your neighborhood. Look, you see, after a storm, there's tree branches and limbs laying all over the place, and that stuff that is laying on public ground, pick it up, take it home with you, and use it. Don't be shy. And I say the same for the city folks. Go to your local park, and you can pick up and gather natural materials right out of the city park. It's helping them maintain it and clean it up. And another thing is, I had one individual say, well, I want to learn how to make different cordages out of natural fibers, out of, grass or bark or whatever. Again, if you find the right trees and they've lost limbs, you can harvest the bark off those limbs. And same with grasses, tall grasses. Look in ditch lines. And if you're in the city, it's going to be a little tougher to find those fibers. So that's something you may have to go outside of the city to gather some of that material to be able to practice that. Now, and then you can make your own cordage. You can learn how to make your own cordage using natural materials right in your own house, right in your living room if you wish. I whittle, and I whittle right here in my apartment. I live in an apartment building, and I practice bushcraft in and out of the place. I like to sit here and whittle just for the fun of it. And I've got my area covered, and I can whittle for hours, and I can pick up I've got a drop cloth. I pick that drop cloth up, and I can dump it into a garbage bag, take it out to the woods with me the next time I go out, and burn it in my fire pit. But I'm not going to quit bushcrafting just because I'm indoors. Okay. Now here's a skill, and it's a bushcrafting skill in its own right, and that's knot tying. Learning how to tie all of these specialty knots that you'll use the most when you're out in the woods bushcrafting. You get yourself a couple pieces of material, a couple of branches that are a couple inches around or even an inch around, maybe about 1.5 feet, 2 feet long. Get yourself a couple of those, bring them in your house. Get yourself some cordage. Go get a nice bundle of paracord and start watching videos and practicing and learn all those knots while you're sitting right in your living room. You can learn every single knot bushcrafters use out there right in your own living room or in the lawn chair in the backyard, enjoying a nice evening learning your knot tying. No bush involved. You're not out in the bush, but by golly, you are bushcrafting. So it's the no bush bushcraft. Yes, everybody can practice and learn bushcrafting skills, indoors or out, in town or out. Doesn't matter. I am a firm believer that you can learn all the bushcrafting skills you want to know right in your own backyard or in your own little local city park. Now, I've actually seen people put up temporary tarp shelters using 2 trees in the city park, running a ridge line, using the knots they learned while sitting at home on the couch, and getting themselves a small tarp from the dollar store and hand whittling some tent stakes from twigs they found laying in the park, and throwing that little tent shelter up, and having a park official come up to them and say, "You can't do that here. You can't set up a camp here." Well, I'm not setting up a camp. I'm practicing bushcrafting skills. And you get into a conversation with the individual, and you tell them it's very temporary. It's just so I can practice my skills. It'll come right down, and I'm not damaging these 2 trees. And in fact, everything I picked up in the park to do this little project, I'll take it with me, and you won't have to pick it up and dispose of it. 9 out of 10 times the park officials say, "Well, that's neat. Well, good for you. Good for you. I hope you enjoy yourself." And off they go. Off they go, leaving you to practice your bushcraft skills. Now, park officials will get a little upset if you try establishing a fire pit and doing fire starting practice. However, if you've got a picnic area in a public park, there's no ordinance on how you start your barbecue. So if they got those permanent barbecues sitting there, there's no reason you can't use a ferro rod, tinder that you've created, and practice your fire making skills right in a city park barbecue. So as you can see, to not practice bushcraft skills is an excuse. There's no reason not to. You can do it. Just think it through and you'll figure out a way. And just get out there and bushcraft yourself all you can. And the key to bushcrafting is the crafting part. Be crafty. Use your imagination. Learn some skills from folks on YouTube or wherever you can get it. And practice it. And I wish you the very best of luck in your bushcrafting future. And I really hope that you can get yourself outdoors. Out in the woods. In the actual woods. After you've learned some of those skills, you set up a camp out in the woods and you'll be prepared, and you've never been there. The experience will be so much more to you than it is to the average bushcrafter, because you have the skills, you just don't have the experience, and you'll be able to experience it and put those skills to practice. So good luck to all you folks out there that don't have access to the backcountry and to the woods. I want to thank every one of you for watching this video. And as always, you can punch my ugly mug if you would like to subscribe, and then you could hit the notification bell and you'll know whenever I post a video or a live stream. Please hit the thumbs up. It really helps. And share with your social media friends this video. And until the next time, you all have a very, very nice bushcrafting day. Bye-bye.